Hello, welcome, and thank you so much for being here today. I'm Violet. I appreciate you joining me. We're gonna dive right in, get a couple messages, a little clarity, and see what's going on overall in the energy. This is a timeless reading, so it's perfect whenever it finds you. Trust that beautiful divine connection you have to your higher self, to God, source, the universe, because the answer is absolutely always in you. And try to make balanced decisions so we can all help uplift each other via love. So let's get one message, even though this is a very big deck of cards, to get our initial focus point straight out of the gate. So let's see what God, Source, Holy Spirit, Christ consciousness, our higher selves, angels and energies of love have for the highest and greatest good of all. And one message from the tea leaf, please and thank you. You got this ram coming on through, so just take note. There is somebody around you that's a bit on the stubborn side. They like to dig their boots into, into the ground. This could be somebody stubborn in their mind as well. They don't, they don't like changing their mind, or they always like to be the one who's right. So it could also be somebody that's a bit aggressive with their energy, a bit pushy. So maybe you're button heads with a certain person lately. If this person appears in your life and you recognize, that's that ram stubborn person, I do feel like you can absolutely be in control, find your center on how you react to this person. Because I do feel like you can almost throw them off a little bit if they're expecting you to have a certain response. I feel like you should do the opposite, or if you just know somebody's like talking to the wall, maybe you don't have to drill in your point. They're not going to hear it anyway. So, okay, that was a big message to come through. So let's go to something different. I feel like we should just kind of bounce around and get you some messages. So what is another message? We're going to go to the career and life. What is the biggest message that would be helpful right now when it comes to life in general, career overall, please and thank you. The biggest message that would be helpful for you. Maybe because I wanted to immediately jump to the career and life, this could be somebody that you do work with. Right, what would be relationships? Okay, that's good. That's a nice little segue, but maybe it's paying attention to how you vibrate or your relationships you have, maybe at work, maybe your chosen family, your actual family, or this could be love as well. I did feel like this should be a nice, well-rounded reading today. So let's see what the message here on relationships is. Business partners, or office, love affairs, and communication with coworkers are highlighted now. Make choices with extreme care. I do feel like, I feel like there needs to be, even then, I just kind of paused. There needs to be a pause before the communication, before the response, or maybe before the action is taken. This is kind of overall in general. So there could be somebody you meet at work. Maybe I hear taboo. Maybe you're not supposed to date a coworker. So, it could be that you keep something to yourself, you and them. I kind of feel like with this, if this is your particular situation, there might be somebody trying to get in your beeswax. They notice there's a little chemistry going on there, and they're kind of, trying to butt their way into seeing what's going on, I'm getting a little nosy. So, I do feel like that person does not need to know your business, but if something is highlighted right now, there is something that's like a fluorescent color. It's glowing, it's twinkling a little bit different. So it could also be that if this is not an overly aggressive person, but somebody stubborn in a good way, they're not going to be pushed around. I do feel like that could be a big, a really good business partner for you, someone you actually would work really well with, especially if you are the one that's maybe a little more flexible. I feel like you might have something beautiful to teach one another. Now, I'm not getting this as the pushy person. I'm getting this as somebody like aggressive in a good way. Like, that no one knocks on the door, they're gonna knock again. If they have something important to say, they will adjust who they speak to until it is heard. I'm getting the squeaky wheel gets the oil. Communication with co-workers. Do pay attention to if there's gossip, how you communicate with the people around you, not just necessarily at work, and how you feel energetically after you are done talking to them. Do you feel drained, or do you feel uplifted, inspired? Because sometimes even like a little pushy energy can be a good thing. A little friction, you know, can create a little fire. A little passion, a little ambition and drive to really move. So yeah. So should we go into this one? Because I feel like we should get one or two mystery messages here. So I said one or two. So let's get two. What are two extra bonus mystery messages on relationships and RAM? Oh, okay. So not every reading is a happy energy. You know, sometimes you gotta remain neutral, be able to look at the reality of a situation. It's not always rainbows and butterflies and unicorns. Real life comes through, but how you handle it can be what empowers you. There's somebody that has some, I think it's that person butting in your business. You know, they have some selfish motives here. So if you are, you know, doing a business arrangement with somebody, starting a business, something like that, definitely pay attention to your energy around them. If you feel like something smells fishy, it probably is. But I am getting that you're going to be able to tangibly, it was interesting, evaluate somebody's energy field. Our heart, like, picture our heart in a spherical, you know, all the way around us, and it projects vibrations, energy about 3 feet around us. So you can really feel somebody's heart, and their truth, their authenticity. Let's get you another one. Two flames. Okay, so you do have a little passion. So whoever this is, I feel like this is you finding the right passionate flame. Maybe they're really different, but you inspire one another. This could be a divine partnership as well. I am sort of getting that maybe because you have this going on over here and you have all of this relationship energy, be mindful of your choices, your actions. If there is a particular divine union situation here, that is absolutely felt, whether you're in the same room with this person or not. So it could be that there is somebody who's fallen out of alignment or feels like a third wheel, or like they are not getting the same attention they used to. So that could be why somebody's acting a little strange over here. You know, maybe they want what you have, or maybe not the person you are with, but they want something like that. I hear just be mindful, because I feel like if you have a bright, flamey, passionate partnership, whether that's business, friendship, or loveland, I don't feel like somebody else can put that spiritual flame out. I guess we're gonna get one more. Let's get one more. Please and thank you. Beat the challenge. So, I mean, you don't want every day to just be, you know, plain, vanilla, boring energy. Sometimes you need a little spice. Sometimes, you know, you need something. I did see like that, like friction energy. So, I mean, I feel like this is you coming through as a winner, even if you felt like you didn't do your best or lost the game. Because sometimes when you lose something, you know, or you feel like, you know, if it was just a sports game, but there's always something that you can learn from it, especially if it's like a failure, but not, because now you learned something, so it won't be a failure again in the future. It does say you're going to beat the challenge. Take that challenge on. You can handle it. I get that you have the higher ground, that something is worth it. So I guess we should get one love before the tarot, you know, bring a little balance. So let's do this one. This is the True Heart Oracle. Let's get you one message that clarifies Loveland. So what is one message when it comes to matters of the heart? The two flames, I do also relate this to the Two of Wands energy. So I do see the Two of Wands as sometimes a really good business partnership. But it's getting past that passionate, you know, flamey, creative urge to move and starting to move. So what is one message when it comes to love? If you guys can hear like a harmonic, that's just my heat. It's starting to get a little chilly. Oh, that's our card. And it does make a little bit of a sound. So, exploration. Where are you going? You're going on a trip. That's nice, because that means that you got that's a nice transition here. So if this is like the Two of Wands and you are, you know, now booking that ticket, making some action, you know, moving on with your plans. This is you in the car, actually on an adventure. It's looking for an adventure like risk, travel, or okay, or kinks. I mean, you do have a lot of fiery energy. Maybe you and a certain person are kind of kinky together. Also, that's a band. So I'll put a song by the Kinks in. It's exciting, but do take note. It could be flighty, yet fun. So maybe this is even a bit of, you know, it could be a little, we're going to go to the tarot now and see, but it could be a little bit of the Knight of Wands sort of energy. So that can be really exciting, but see if something is flaky, you know, all in, and then like the road runner, they're gone, you know, flame under their feet. So see if somebody comes back, if somebody follows through. Look at somebody's repeat actions, not just maybe one passionate situation. But I do feel like maybe there's a situation coming in. You're going away from what was weird over here, and you're just ready for something new, something fresh, something different. Because I feel like you're catching a pretty good wave there. And if you have all those sails, that means the winds of change are blowing in a new direction, but taking you to new horizons, or to a new shore, or towards someone or something you are now sure of. What did I grab? The Vintage Tarot. So let's see what comes out. What would be helpful when it comes to beat the challenge of two flames, hidden selfish motives, and relationships exploration. Oh yeah, that's the person that's being weird. Okay, that needs to be looked at today. So there's definitely somebody that's trying to get away with something. You know, maybe they're gonna get caught. But this person is running in the day. It doesn't even look like they have shoes on. They're just running in their socks. They're trying to get away so fast they didn't even put their shoes on. So this generally is somebody who's not telling the truth. It could be somebody who is a bit of a runner. Not that they're intending to do something hurtful, but that could be self-protection if somebody runs before something gets, I hear solid, or really running. That could be somebody running from success, not believing they deserve it. That could be somebody running from a challenge because, you know, they don't know if they want to take that challenge on. Sometimes I see the Seven of Swords also as the Irish exit, somebody that recognizes that perhaps there is a weird you know, energy somewhere that they don't groove with, and rather than making a big old stink about it, they just dip out the back, you know, not worth like trying to change someone or give their 2 cents, or I get like a soapbox energy, to stand on their soapbox about why they are living and why somebody shouldn't be doing that, and you know, you guys have to grow up over here, and you should stop talking about other people's business. And it's like, maybe just not be by it. So why is the 7 of Swords here? Tell us more about the 7 of Swords. Sometimes that's like the big liar, cheater, thief. So see how that resonates for you. That could be something you're also hearing about. Like with a bunch of people, whether that's at work or friends or whatever. I kind of feel like you don't want to be involved in the gossip. I actually see somebody that's overhearing something, and whoever it is that feels like even talking about someone else's, it's kind of like, I'm getting like, it kind of feels sort of dirty to be around. So someone's just like, I don't care about this. I'm going to leave the room. I've got better things to do. So let's see what else jumps out. What else is going on to have awareness on and of that would be the most helpful for you? Please and thank you. That, that's how being at peace. Being where you feel peaceful, plugging yourself back in. I feel like you need like I want to say like a recharge, because I see it like a battery, like that green battery icon, like charging up. So maybe this is just letting something rest. Because sometimes the 4 of Swords is like being at peace, but it can be kind of like meditation. It could be full acceptance that something is how it is, but how do you find your own inner peace with where you are? What else? I like that there's a stained glass window, but this person looks like they're a statue, like they're made of stone. So maybe somebody had a very stoic energy. But you see that window makes me think of almost like mosaic, or different facets of something, or puzzle pieces put together in this beautiful spectrum, like a kaleidoscope of energy coming through to maybe bring some life back to a situation. Maybe somebody just really did need a pause, a mental break, since it's Swords. Tell us more. Whatever these are, they're minor arcana, so it is a smaller, like everyday kind of situation. Different from this. This is big. This is you getting on the right road, getting rid of anything that was pulling you out of alignment, getting in your own driver's seat. And I feel like something was puzzling, because this is the one tarot that it's not horses. You have Sphinx, you know, a black and white Sphinx that kind of mirror each other, and they're kind of sitting down like meow. I just meowed at you. So maybe it is taking a pause, because I always think of something as maybe it was a riddle or confusing or conundrum before, and it's like, now you're sitting on something easier, or you're changing the gears according to the terrain you're on, because you see the wisdom in a situation. I just heard misrepresented. That was misrepresented to you before. There's also somebody who's at peace, getting on the road and walking away from something that maybe had a lot of energy, effort, time, attention into it until it just wasn't building anymore. The 8 of Cups is where somebody wants to go on a journey to learn about who they really are, who they are now becoming. Because wherever they were started to not feel like a fit. So even if this is a bittersweet walking away, you know, you're heading towards the mountains or maybe the valley there. So maybe towards obstacles, but this is heading towards the Nine of Cups, which is an ultimate wish come true, or a wish you didn't even know you needed or wanted yet until you went on that journey of self-discovery. But this could also be letting somebody else go if somebody needs to figure out who they really are, or maybe even telling them to take a hike if they're really weird. But whoever's walking away here is definitely going to end up learning more about who they are by a little time alone, or by new experiences that maybe they handle totally different because of the gift of going through weird experiences in the past. Chariot could also be Cancer energy. It does look like you're leaving town, or somebody could be getting on the road coming to you as well. What's at the bottom? Multitasking. Make something a little more fun. This could be somebody who left a while ago and is also boomeranging back around to you. But if they come back to whatever the situation is, this is somebody that comes back changed. I actually feel like for some of you, you actually told somebody that. Like, don't come back unless you change your ways or like you are consistent. This is where you have to adjust something in your schedule. You have to be able to multitask your energy, look at what you are handling with your energy, what is worth your time, what feels like it's a seed that has the infinite potential to grow. Maybe, you know, you are juggling two things, or maybe this is what you hear about in the office. It could also be two different businesses or two different projects or two different people that you are, you know, trying to, I don't know, work with. I did hear rely on, but this is always the gesture. So how do you rely on yourself? How do you see who is reliable? And, you know, if you miss one wave of opportunity, how do you make sure you don't miss the next one? This could be where you beat the challenge just by fixing something in the schedule. Notice where you are spending your energy. Are you in the energy of peace where you are, where you spend a lot of your time? Or is it a place or a location or a partnership or a person or a project that you always feel drained by? Then start to put more of your energy where it's like that battery instead of being drained. So let's get you one final message from the universe, because this is one of those readings I gotta skedaddle. So I hope this was helpful. It is the last final message from the universe for you. Please and thank you. Final message is, if you find yourself consistently seeing reoccurring numbers or words, it is a sign that you are being supported, cared for, and divinely protected by the universe. Beautiful things are about to happen for you. If you see a repeating number, what are the numbers here? Not that many numbers. 7, 7, 8, 4, 2. I wonder what that number means. Maybe I'll find that and put it in for you. But whatever number you kind of keep seeing like a coinky dink, that's not. What were you just thinking about when you saw it? What is your energetic field like when you notice it? Do you really take note and notice and see that it starts to happen more and more? Because everything's like, you know, what is that? Like zeros and ones, like everything breaks down to numbers. So maybe even start a journal. See, once you take note how much it happens, even if it's just a synchronicity journal, not necessarily numbers, but once you take note, you start to see it happens more and more. And you give more gratitude to those beautiful little miracle moments that are taking you on. I just heard the journey of a lifetime. Hey, go on that journey. I love you. I'll see you soon. Bye.